the threat of arrest, then you know that you are living in an abnormal society. And we know that today. We know that the law works for the powerful. And we know that this case and the denial of bail in this case was very much political. The goal here is to keep young people arrested by the status quo, arrested by the normality that being intelligent is not good enough if you're poor. We're fighting for free, decolonized, and quality education. And Mcebo's statement was very clear that we are not the ones who are arresting the academic program. No one wants to go back to the academic program and to normalcy as much as we do as protesting students, because we've put our bodies on the line, we've put our futures on the line. And we see today that Mcebo will be sent away for fighting for a just cause. But I think what we really need to understand here is that young people in this country have been very clear. And we've seen students in Namibia joining as well on the call for Freeze Must Fall. We know we are fighting a just cause, but we are extremely, extremely disappointed with the force, the police brutality. And we know that the obsession around losing the academic program is so superficial because we've already lost. We've lost a generation who will now be scarred psychologically, emotionally, physically from the weeks of torment, of police brutality. Homeless people have also been targeted now. Last night in Braamfontein, while we were out supporting residences who were defying the apartheid-like curfews that our universities are using, the unjust suspensions that the universities are using to work together with the state to stop students, to kill this movement. But we will not retreat and we will not surrender. The struggle must continue.
Do you think students are not going to revolt? Do you think they're not going to react to this?
I think that students have been revolting. I don't think that the protests have stopped. But what we've seen is the strangulation and the criminality of student protest, of protest in general. And that, to me, is the real crisis here and where the outcry should lie. We're talking about losing the academic year. Students have never said that we want to lose the academic year. We simply want a genuine dialogue and discussion and negotiation around our genuine demand. That, by the way, was not something that came about yesterday or last year. This demand has been around since 1994. It's a promise that this very state has made. And now it's a promise that they will break by all means to kill this movement so that students are fearful to react and fearful to stand up against the status quo. And we are really, standing here today. We've seen that the state has brought Stephen Rubin, who is one of their best prosecutors, to a magistrate court. That's like bringing Beyonce to play at a nightclub. This is a political case. And it's very clear what is being done here, and it's a grave injustice to social justice issues. It's a grave injustice for student activists, but mostly it's a grave injustice for future generations. But we will not stop. We will continue. And Mcebo might be ridiculed today and ridiculed tomorrow, but in years to come, we know that we will be remembered for delivering free, quality, and decolonized education, because this struggle is not just ours. It belongs to everyone in this society that we live in. We want a better future for South Africa, and that starts with education. Education is the weapon of domination of the future. And we are now living in this time, and we need to continue. A wise person once told me that you have to balance the flexibility of tactics with the rigidity of strategy. And I think now this is a time for students to really reflect and think about where we're going and how we're going to win the struggle. And we are really prepared to do that by all means necessary.
Going forward, what can we expect from the students now?
I think that we are really going into a difficult time. We've seen that there's been no willingness from the universities, despite saying that they support the call for free, quality, and decolonized education. They've done absolutely nothing to further this cause other than to kill this movement, target student leaders, and also intimidate and victimize ordinary students who they have risked by asking them to come back to the university before this issue has been resolved and before genuine engagement has taken place. So we are still seeking that. Today, Advocate Thuli Madonsela and others will be at Wits University to have a discussion. We hope to use that platform to push our demand for free, quality, and decolonized education, and to bring members of society into the game with us. Because like we've been saying, this is not just our struggle. This is the struggle struggle of the policemen who are shooting at us because they've been ordered to. This is the struggle of teachers and lecturers who are forced to come and teach because they risk being fired. This is the struggle of campus security, whose responsibilities of protecting us has been taken away by wits, particularly being handed over by our Vice-Chancellor to the South African Police Service. So this is the struggle of the working class in South Africa. And like I've been saying, you can cut all the flowers, but you cannot stop spring from coming.